Year 9 Dance, Term 1, Unit 1, Exploring Improvisation. The unit focus: students have investigated the process of composition through improvisation tasks, exploring the elements of dance, space, time, and dynamics. Students have worked through each practical task in the lesson sequence, developing knowledge, understanding, and skill in generating diverse movement quality. NESA outcomes, you can read that at your own leisure. The objective or goal of this unit: it was practical based and students learnt about the process of composition. Students explored, improvised, devised, selected, refined and structured movement using the elements of dance to communicate ideas to an audience. The assessment for exploring improvisation was originally due term 1, week 10. However, you can see in yellow there that there was an extension given due to COVID-19, and it was amended to term 2, week 1, Friday the 1st of May by 3 p.m. Students were informed of the extension via Gmail. You can also see in pink the APHS assessment task policy. If the task, and we're going to review that in the next slide, was not submitted by the amended due date, then a course warning, a ROSA course warning, would be issued. For assessment task 1, it has a weighting of 25% and marks awarded are 30. For part A, it's practical based. Students will engage in 2 problem solving tasks based upon the elements of space and dynamics. Students manipulate these elements as they improvise and structure movement in a personal response to communicate ideas to an audience. Students have received a hard copy of the task details. However, a soft copy of the details can be located on APHS Connect 1-to-1_ assessment task 1. This component was optional to submit by the due date. Students could film, record, upload their solos to Google Drive, or upon return to school in term 2, they can perform this live for their teacher. Part B is theory-based. Students needed to complete term 1 booklet, statements and journals, and also to complete 2 theory tasks based upon the elements of space and dynamics and complete these on Google Drive. Just note that the element of time, duo and theory were excluded in the revised assessment task 1 due to social distancing protocols. Students will have the opportunity upon return to school to work on this task once social distancing measures have eased. For term 2, unit 2, it's all about dance theory. So what will term 2 look like for dance? Typically in year 9, you would engage in an integrated study of the practices of performance, composition and appreciation. So in term 1, students studied the unit Exploring Improvisation, which aligned with the study of composition. However, given schools have been progressively moving classes online due to COVID-19 pandemic, there is uncertainty over what term 2 may bring, despite the staggered return to school. Under the direction of head teacher Kappa Ms. Sheep, changes specific to dance include covering the theoretical content in term 2, which is appreciation, and the practical components later in the year. So the unit overview for term 2 is: in describing dance, students learn to deconstruct various components of a dance that contribute to the communication of ideas, including the spatial, temporal and dynamic features of a dance. Students were given an online study booklet, week 2 of term 2 via Google Drive, in which to complete theory work for week 2 to 7. And you've got the appreciation outcomes listed below. For Unit 2 or for Assessment Task 2, there are 2 tasks. If we have a look at Task 1, there is a paragraph or a scaffolded paragraph, a TEEC, that students need to complete, and it forms Task 12 of their online booklet. They can also see page 17 for marking criteria, and the marks awarded are out of 5. The due date is highlighted in red and its submission is via Google Drive. Similarly for Task 2, students could either write a paragraph or a viva voce, which is a speech, and they could record themselves and upload that online. This forms Task 13 of their booklet, and again you can see the marking criteria on page 17 and marks awarded are out of 5, and again the due date is highlighted in red. What students will learn about or achieve in this unit: basically, they're expanding their knowledge and understanding of the elements of dance that they've acquired in term 1. Students will apply this knowledge and understanding of the elements of dance to a film dance by an ex-HSC student. Students will analyse, examine and interpret how choreographers use the elements of dance. Students will learn what intent means, which is a choreographer's idea or motivation for creating a dance. Students will learn to scaffold a sophisticated paragraph, analysing how the ex-student has used the elements of dance to communicate an intent to an audience, and students will be awarded marks for their TEEEC and Viva Voce paragraphs. And you can see that there's also a pencil there which informs the students of which tasks need to be completed.